Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you inside Central Arena here in Burlington, Ontario for Junior A action once again on the JVI Sports Network. My name is Matthew Carrick, and I'm happy to be alongside our JVI crew once again. We remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel right off the top. Make sure the notifications are on so you know every time that we go live across the province, and update videos as well. You can follow us on Twitter at JVI Video. Tonight, it is the white jerseys with black shorts of the Burlington Chiefs going against the blue jerseys of the St Catharines Athletics, and they are going to win the opening faceoff thanks to Mason Kaminga as they work away from Troy Halichuk, the starting goaltender tonight for the St Catharines Athletics. Halichuk comes in with a 1-0 record. It's been Nick DeMood almost the entire way, him with a 5-3 record. As a moving pick is called there by Roger Nurse. Nurse and Blair Ferguson, the two officials for tonight's game. Riley Miller in net for Burlington, who go right to left on your screen here in the opening period. First of three 20-minute periods here in Ontario Lacrosse Association. Lanchbury pushed aside, out in front, trying a bouncer there through the legs of Halichuk. He gets the stick on it to make the save. Great crowd once again here in Burlington, as there's a number of St. Catharines fans off to our left, in behind their bench, as there usually is when they play here in Burlington. This is where their season finished last year outside the playoffs. And Alex Simmons, much different story this year, as Simmons gets the first goal of the game in behind Briley Miller, and it comes just over a minute into our first period. Playoff race went right down to the wire last year, and it looks like it's going to do the same again. 4 points, all that separates first place from eighth, the final playoff position. As another face-off and another win for Kaminga, who chases it back into his own zone. Can't pick it up cleanly though, so Jordan Aki gets the rebound. He'll take the majority of the draws for Burlington here this evening. Only 2 points separating these two teams as Latrell Harris tries to steal this away from Jacob Saunders, then gets hit by Chris Boucher, two NLL players in tonight's game. Boucher, a Buffalo Bandits draft pick. Latrell Harris, the captain of the A's, of course, with the Toronto Rock for a couple seasons now. Up top, Jeff Wittig. We're going to see a lot of 17 in blue tonight, although this time there's a moving screen on the far side. Pat Cashall quickly up over center, looking for the restart, as this one bounces away from Jason Knox. Lanchbury, Boucher looking for a man in front. It bounced off the stick of Barrett, recovers, takes another shot, and it gets in behind Halichuk to tie things up at one apiece. Bit of a scrambled play there on both sides, as nobody could really come up with the loose ball. And it was eventually Barrett in the middle. Finding it and turning right in front to get the first goal of the game for the Burlington Chiefs. Cashall and Knox on the assists, as Roger Nurse speaks to both benches here. So Aki and Kaminga back at the face-off dot to face off against each other. So it'll be a battle we're going to watch all night long. And Aki, the first time, winning his draw, but they say he did so illegally, so it will be the Athletics. Working their way back in. Athletics with 12 points now on the season, 6 wins, looking to make it a 5-way tie here in Burlington for top spot in Junior A. Brampton, Orangeville, Burlington, and the fourth team, I believe it's Whitby. But it is 4 atop the Junior A standings. St. Catharines then sits alone, and then 3 others tied with 5 wins on the season. As a shot wide there from Keelan Pilon. Must have hit Briley Miller though as they reset the shot clock. Over 3 minutes gone now in our first period. Tied at 1. Holding call coming on the near side. As the arm goes high, it'll be a high stick actually for Roger Nurse. As Troy Halachuk comes to the bench to grab a quick drink. Phil Mazuka going off for the high stick. Riley Miller enters tonight's game with a 5-1 record. Playing about a full game more than that of Kyle Hebert. He's showing 4 games played, is the backup netminder tonight, just south of 200 minutes and just over 350 for Briley Miller in 6 games. Quick shot here on the Athletics power play. One that Miller will hang on to. As back the other way, the Chiefs try and shovel it through the crease. They did, but it wasn't quite picked up by Bushi. First season behind the Athletics bench for Steve Toll after spending the last 3 on the bench of the Mimico Mountaineers, taking them all the way to a Minto Cup semifinal appearance last year. In front, Wittig, the quick shot, and Briley Miller makes the save. Still working for this rebound. Brett Erskine in there. He gets fouled in behind the net. We're on the count here for Burlington, so they just pick it up and bomb it down the floor. Does Stephen Lee. And another reset with 50 seconds remaining here in this penalty. Wittig to Erskine. Wittig will go back up top where Alex Simmons has top spot, the goal scorer for the Athletics. Erskine walks out. Looked like he was going to go in front of Briley Miller and tried to sneak it back into the top corner. And Miller back to his left to make sure that didn't happen. Devin Maya out as far as center, but trying to pass it back. It bounces twice before ending up in the St. Catharines bench. So they'll get a final opportunity here with about 15 seconds left in their power play as Simmons backpedals. Wittig up top, a skip shot that hits off the end boards. Bounces all the way down the floor. Halachuk out of his crease to play it to Wittig, and that'll do it for the penalty. As Simmons takes one final shot, Cashall can come over to make the change. Pardon me, this is Cashall, as Mazuka was the penalized player. Cashall backing into Alec Tamas. Hard hit on the far side as it's quickly moved through Smith to Bushi. Smith backing into pressure. Back they go to Damon Curry. His quick shot. Halachuk recovers nicely though to come to his right and make the save on Smith, who let a quick release go. 6 minutes gone here, 1 goal aside. Alex Simmons getting things started, and then Trevor Barrett equaling him. That's where we sit right now, 1-1, halfway through the Six Nations shot clock. Nearly intercepted by Jacob Saunders. As Simmons into the corner now, walking towards the crease and looking through the 5-hole there was Carter Zavitz. And Briley Miller able to send that one aside as well. Hunter Lemieux. Counterattack being formed by the Chiefs. Bushi, Ryan Lanchbury. The big names on a very high-powered right-handed offense for this Burlington Chiefs. Save was made by Halachuk. Smith recovered, though, as he didn't know where the rebound was. So Bougie and Smith get another opportunity. Knox over for Curry. Langebury. Bougie left it for him. Langebury releases, and I believe that hit off Latrell Harris to tick this shot clock down to 10 seconds. Straight to the crease. Hunter Lemieux close to the crease, not in, takes a shot. Halachuk forced into a save as it comes from Smith. Smith took a check there from Tom Whitty after the shot, and he didn't like that, so he responded with a chop of his own. Neither of those end up being called for penalties, so Brett Erskine back the other way. Will keep play going. 10 on their clock as Briley Miller makes another save. Callum Jones took his man out of the play at the end, but down the floor, Devin Maya, goodness, as Halachuk got run over by his own defenseman in front of the St. Catharines bench. Bradley Fennell tripped up, and he looked to be a bit slow getting up and to the bench, but appears to be okay now as he stands in front of the trainer. Brett Erskine, meanwhile, 10 seconds down on the shot clock again, as now Callum Jones defending Zavitz on the far side. Hard shot from up top. Simmons sends it wide of the net, and Dylan LaPrade will wait for the 30 to expire. LaPrade, a late season acquisition last year from the Barrie Lakeshores at the trade deadline. This will be a very interesting deadline. As we said, 8 teams still in the mix for the playoffs, and all 8 with a very good chance to make very deep runs. Langebury here. Couple stick checks made by Jacob Johnson. That pops it free, and Kuminga down the floor with Langebury trailing the shot into the midsection of Briley Miller. Rebound picked up, and Burlington gonna slow things down here. 9 minutes gone in our opening period. Still just 1 goal aside. Smith from the corner tries to work out to the crease and nearly pushed in there by Riley St. Onge. Matt Robinson taking middle spot now. Setting a couple picks. Ryan Smith works around one, back for Lemieux. Jason Knox. Lemieux was looking for the pick and roll, but Knox couldn't get back around the defender. And when he did get it back, shot it wide. It climbs off the glass and up out of play. So another offensive set here for St. Catharines. Good battle on the far side. Wittig has it near side though. Jake McNabb, the offseason trade acquisition from the Six Nations Arrows, finds Keelan down the floor. Bougie was about to celebrate, and Halachuk made the save. Oh my. What a save right there from Troy Halachuk. Bougie almost putting his arms in the air on the quick stick. And it remains 1-1. Brett Erskine from the corner, up top for Simmons now. Simmons works around a pick from Latrell Harris, another one in the corner. Trying to get rid of Colin Hunt on the play, but Devin Maya uses his size to brace over top of the rebound and secure it for the Chiefs. Here's Smith. Ryan Smith to the half boards. Langebury cuts a corner, back in front, and the shot goes wide from Trevor Barrett, trying to make a bid for his second of the game. 9 minutes left in the period now. Barrett back for Lemieux. Someone on that side has lost a piece of equipment as Lemieux gets it back for Smith. He's all alone and steps up and shoots over the defender and the left shoulder of Halachuk, and that'll make it 2-0 here for Burlington. Pardon me, 2-1, I'm corrected. The officials take care of the slash guard. And Ryan Smith now making it 2-1. Barrett and Bushi on the assists. Part of that Killer Bee set, and one of them's missing tonight. Pardon me, Barrett already has one. In front, Smith looking to do it again, and he can't, as it just bounces off the shoulder of Halachuk. It's Nate Braniff who is missing from those 3 Killer Bees. As Alex Simmons looked for the backflip pass, it's going to turn into a 2-on-1 with Jeff Wittig back. And the shot saved there by Halachuk. Mazuka slowed up to keep the trail defender out of the play. Braniff and Austin Redding, the only 2 scratches for Burlington tonight. As this ball goes out of play, and it will be St. Catharines' ball. They're pushing the floor quick. Latrell Harris's shot goes wide, bouncing all the way back to center. Here where it's recovered by Alec Tamas. Tamas goes off, big tie up on the far side. Latrell Harris saw Matt Wright go down, and he cut to the net. They couldn't get the ball to him though. So they go near side for Erskine. He's hauled down, and the ball bounces out of his stick and past the net, where the Chiefs will recover. It'll be the captain, Callum Jones, captain on captain, as Latrell Harris swiped the stick at him. Ball to the far side, and the Chiefs into the zone. Curry. Now Bushi, space opening up. Bushi takes the shot. You can see St. Catharines giving that lane to run off the wall. They're very familiar, it looks like, with Bushi and Smith, how they like to do that. And almost cheating a little bit, showing them the lane and then taking it away right away like Alice Pace did right there. Wittig. He comes off the boards, and his sidearm shot goes wide all the way down to Halachuk. Wittig back to retrieve it. And his long shot skips off the foot of Briley Miller, just beating the shot clock. But everyone from the A's bench had gone off for a change, so easily handled there by Cashawk. Pat Cashawk still with it as Lanchbury goes quick into the corner. Smith working out with it over the top, and that 1-foot jump shot that a lot of field players use today is the one that makes it 3-1 in favor of the Chiefs with 6 minutes left here in the first period. Ryan Smith, his second of the game, to make it 3-1. Knox and Cashawk on the assist as Carter Zavitz controls the face-off. Another one won by Mazuka after a brief scrum as Erskine into the corner. He takes a big chop there from Stephen Lee. Off the far board, Simmons, one already, got things started tonight. On another one where the shooter thought about celebrating as it bounced between the legs of Briley Miller, and momentum carried it out. Brett Erskine on his way to the bench, wondering how that stayed out. 5 minutes left. Bushi, he takes a 1-foot jump shot. Rebound worked into the corner. Smith out with it. His shot saved by the left arm of Halachuk, and the defense able to stand tall in behind of Halachuk to keep that ball from bouncing back over the line. Cut to the net here. Owen Friesen, his shot saved by Miller as Cashawk Over to the far side, a low shot made by Saunders. Kashalk in front of the net, trying to screen Halachuk. As pace starting to quicken up here in the final 4.5. Jake McNabb. Gavin McGregor. Erskine. He spins away from a double team. They go all the way back up top for McNabb. Now far side as the righties get involved. It's Simmons again. Simmons takes the shot. Miller will hold his ground, waiting for a whistle that never came as a rebound dropped in front of Dylan LaPrade. And he starts it back up the floor. Smith and Barrett, the last two offensive players off the Chiefs bench. Smith in the corner for Boucher. Misplayed by Damon Curry right at the blue line. Able to chase his own rebound though. Curry cutting through, they bypass him, go to the far side for Knox, and a bounce shot with a double team on him and just beating the shot clock. What a play from Jason Knox. We haven't seen much offensively from him this year with Nate Braniff over there on the left shooting side, but Jason Knox, this was his play a lot last year. He wants his spot back, I believe, as a holding penalty gets wiped out by the goal. Latrell Harris controlling the face-off. Smith and Lanchbury on the assist, so Smith with a 3-point night now on the 4-1 scoreline. Wittig will go for the crease dive. Ball bounces up and hits the, I believe it hit one of the lights that's hanging from the roof here at Central Arena. So it will be Burlington ball as we hit the 3-minute warning. Boucher, sidearm shot. Skips wide of the net, 15 on the shot clock. This one's going to bounce the length of the floor. Miller has to come out of the crease to play. Quick up, Boucher. Lanchbury, the swim move. He goes far side, and lunging to his left was Halachuk. The ball skipped past him and went up out of play, though. So no save required that time as the Athletics recover. Carter Zavitz. His St. Catharines Athletics are trailing by 3 after they got the opening goal. 4 straight for Burlington since then. A low bouncer from McNabb, denied by the foot of Briley Miller. Briley Miller also from the Six Nations Arrows, those two former teammates. Miller didn't get a whole lot of respect before this season, as he was caught behind Doug Jamieson, who is now graduated junior and plays for the New England Black Wolves. All 4 goaltenders. Oh, Smith with a quick shot there just over top of the left glove of Halachuk. He did put his equipment on it, though, and reset the shot clock. Rebound straight to the Athletics. All 4 goaltenders in last year's Junior A tournament entered the tournament with NLL experience. Riley Hutchcraft of Mimico with the Toronto Rock. Pardon me, he was the only one that didn't in terms of starters, but then entered the draft and was drafted by the Rock. Doug Jamieson, New England. Christian Del Bianco of Coquitlam with the Calgary Roughnecks. And Kevin Orleman from Okotoks with 2 teams at that time, and then joined the Georgia Swarm shortly thereafter. Latrell Harris, the speedster. Cranks it down a gear, though, just as he runs into the ball, hitting the last minute of play in our first period. McNabb, far side. They'll try and time this, or they'll just score as McNabb puts it through a crowd. And Miller as well. 46 seconds left on the clock. I was wondering if they'd tick it down and take their timeout. Steve Toll doesn't really care what the clock says. If he sees a good time to drop a play, he will take those timeouts. Usually when one of his players gets in trouble with a double team. So 45 now in the period with a 2-goal lead for the Chiefs. 2 timeouts per game for each team. They can only use 1 per period though, so out of the 3 periods you'll usually see them wait and try and hang on. Here's McNabb. 16 on the shot clock, an extra 7 on the game clock. Erskine into the corner for Wittig. Back up top, hard shot from McNabb. That one goes off the left arm of Miller. Looking for it, Simmons though, and he'll be beat to it by Callum Jones, who turns on the Jets. 4 seconds, now 3. Smith with the shot, and it goes wide off the end boards and back all the way down the floor. Good catch by Blair Ferguson. The official, and your first period will end a 4-2 lead in favor of the home side. Burlington Chiefs in first right now, although along with 4 other teams, they're hoping to be all alone by the end of the night. St Catharines trying to make that a 5-way tie. We'll take a quick timeout and be back with more on the JVI Sports Network. You're watching Junior A Lacrosse. Teams are back out on the floor, and we get set for period number 2. 4 goals in the period for the Chiefs. Pancaked sandwich, rather, around. Goals from St. Catharines, started by Alex Simmons. And then Trevor Barrett, 2 for Smith, 1 for Jason Knox. And Jake McNabb, the last one just before the break. That gives us 4-2. As it looks like Aki and Kaminga flipped up in the air by Aki and down right to the right of the St. Catharines bench. And a number of players digging for it. A couple chops there from Latrell Harris. One may have caught Saunders high. Blair Ferguson right there elects to let all of that go. As finally underway here in the second period. Callum Jones got dropped in front of his own bench. Sliding backwards close to the door. As here comes the set. A shot from Hunter Lemieux. Bounces off Halachuk and up into the screening. Halachuk taking now the net to our right. Briley Miller remains in net to our left. Bushi over the top. His sidearm shot comes all the way back up for Knox. And we'll start the period with an extended offensive pressure for the Burlington Chiefs. In the corner for Lanchbury. Steps over a pick from Bushi and shoots. And he will extend the lead to 3 here early on in the second period. Just over a minute. That's about where Simmons scored. Lemieux and Bushi on the assist, as you heard. Simmons, the first goal of the game in that first period. Roughly the same spot on the clock. Minute and a couple of seconds as Kaminga wins the face-off, flips it into the Burlington Chiefs bench, much to the delight of the home fans. Lanchbury in the middle now. Knox. He takes top spot. Now a switch with Curry, who takes a shot off the stick of Halachuk into the corner. Running with it, trying to catch up was Lanchbury. Rolled away from him into the stick of Fennell. Bradley Fennell back for Carter Zavitz. Fennell looking back at the official as he got tangled in the stick of Callum Jones as the Burlington captain was looking for a penalty. On the crease, Wittig takes the shot. And Miller made the save. Wittig through the crease after the ball had cleared. There's Blair Ferguson right there, Matt Wright. Quickly, though, getting it up to Pat Cashall. And the Chiefs will slow this down to get their offense on the floor. Knox. Now Lemieux. Back to the right side. This is where they're so dangerous. Lanchbury quickly to Smith as Lanchbury goes off. Smith's shot looking 5-hole there on Halachuk. Can't connect. Bushi and Latrell Harris have a word for each other. Keelan Pilon heads off as Simmons takes another shot. Collision in front of the net, and that will be enough to turn the ball back over to St. Catharines as Burlington had looked like Phil Mazuka and Devin Maya streaking down the floor. Maya goes once again as a shot saved by Briley Miller. He elects to pass to Steve Lee, though, who will slow it down once again. Cutting through the middle, Lanchbury. Bouncer away from him. Close to the net of Miller. Will be picked up here by Curry. Up top, Lanchbury. Dying seconds of the shot clock. Lanchbury lets a shot go. Left hand save made there by Halachuk. Anderson whacking away and looking for the loose ball. And it'll be St. Catharines. That brings it over the timeline. Just outside of 3 minutes gone here in our middle period. 1 goal to speak of so far. It went the way of Burlington. Wittig trying to match that. A high shot off the chest of Miller. Wittig had to go around Callum Jones that time. And Jordan Ackey flips the ball to Knox. Smith trying to find Lanchbury. That's the second time uncharacteristically that they've got the ball down. Lanchbury turns the corner, and his shot. Another one saved off the stick of Halachuk. Quickly up the floor. 3 Athletics forwards. This is the quick offensive change period. But the A's still sending guys out in transition here as Jake McNabb, his defender, falls. Goes back for Simmons, his shot saved by Miller. And a reset for the Athletics as it's claimed by Owen Friesen. From the corner, McNabb up top. Back for Simmons again. Simmons looking to pass and reaching for it. What's Friesen? It bounces all the way back to center, where it's corralled by Nick Erskine. That's Brett Erskine, pardon me, as a shot comes from Pilon. Out of the corner, grabbed by Steve Lee. He'll sidestep and backpedal his way until he gets to center. So he had 2 guys on him. 5 minutes gone now in our period. Still a 3-goal lead for Burlington. That's as high as they've managed to get it in this game, off 4 straight goals in the first period after Simmons took the early advantage. Knox spins around, trying desperately to get away from Alex Pace. Shot clock goes. The Athletics will get another possession here. Pilon to Simmons, who goes to the crease, takes the shot off the foot of Miller. Rebound controlled by Mazuka. Long pass all the way up to center. Kashoff backpedaling. Takes a whack from Kyler Kilgore. Kilgore still chasing Kashoff. Now Kashoff eludes, comes in, takes the shot. Halachuk the save. In-house clock was stalled momentarily. Now it starts as Smith takes a shot off Halachuk into the protective netting. So fresh 30 seconds for Smith and maybe an extra 20 or so added to this period as Curry reaches in front of Halachuk, takes the shot and saved by Halachuk before going up into the netting. Another spectacular save by Halachuk, working to his right. It goes off the stick, and that one was right at the end of the shot clock, but it does go back to the Chiefs as it went out of play. Knox, oh, look at the ball movement here, and Halachuk again with a save as this one going off the right shoulder before heading out of bounds. Bushi, Knox, Barrett around a pick from Curry. All the way up top for Bushi. And Lanchbury in the middle. Barrett, Knox able to get it as they go all the way back up top for Bushi. He finds Barrett now. Barrett picking his man out of the way. Knox, Bushi stumbling, goes hard into Halachuk. And Latrell Harris is going to help him up, but Bushi responds with a swing of the forearm. Latrell Harris didn't like that. Looks like he runs to the bench with a bit of a grin under the face mask, though. Lost in all that, Halachuk looks to be okay as he quickly regained his footing. 7 minutes gone in our second period. What a stand by Halachuk, that last offensive set. The head comes off the stick And what a big hit there. Callum Jones hits the deck for a second time in this game. I believe Jacob Johnson, the man who lays him out. Defense back on the floor now. They were down here for about a minute and a half for the A's last trip out. No Latrell Harris this time as they change personnel. Up top, Lanchbury. Same five, it looks like, for the most part, for the Burlington Chiefs. Halachuk has it underneath him, waiting for the whistle, which now sounds as Logan Monroe was making sure nothing squeaked out the back end and over the line. Athletics near side. Low shot, Simmons working around Wittig. Riley Miller there to save that. And the story tonight very much, at least for now, Miller versus Halachuk. St. Catharines coming in, like we said, 2 points back of a four-way tie for first place amongst OLA Junior A teams. Burlington with a game in hand over the Pack right now, having played only 9. Them and St. Catharines, this is their 10th game as of this evening. That'll join a couple other teams as the shot comes here from McNabb. He shakes the jersey afterward, and it is 5-3 in favor of Burlington. You get the sense it's going to be one of those games we go lengthy spurts in between goals. Wait a minute now. McNabb from Erskine is the call of the goal, as the captains were over at the bench. Two officials, Roger Nurse, Blair Ferguson, took an opportunity to discuss something down there. Was wondering if they were discussing the goal, but it is 5-3 as we near the halfway mark of this middle frame. Face-off corralled deep in the Chiefs' defensive zone by Callum Jones. Curry. Quick up for Knox. Lanchbury. Boucher far side. Boucher back in, takes the shot, and he got hit as he cut through, and he falls. Looking up to see who it was. Tom Whitey down the floor reaching for it. Carter Zavitz, as Boucher just now getting back to the bench. He has a word for Blair Ferguson. Dylan LaPrade looking for the pass. Never came from Stephen Lee. He goes to Ryan Smith, who comes off the bench. I was just about to say we haven't seen Smith in a couple of shifts as Lanchbury finds the left shoulder of Halachuk. Halachuk still in the crease as a stick check was made. So the Chiefs will turn it over to St. Catharines here. Wittig and Jones get tied up in front of the shot. Comes from Simmons, and a couple chops after the fact. One from Maya, one from Jones, as Wittig and Matt Wright on the far side shoving each other. And Roger Nurse is going to take both of them off the floor as that turned into a chippy possession quickly. High sticking Miners against Jeff Wittig and Matt Wright. Wittig, big time player for the Athletics over on that left side for a couple of seasons now. 6 goals in 5 games only for Wittig on the year. As Simmons takes this from in front of his own bench. Goes to McNabb. Far blue line. Some high stepping here from the lefty. Back for Simmons. He tries a swim move. Denied as Callum Jones takes him all the way outside into the boards. Back in the middle, Simmons. A low shot as he came through. Now Simmons and Steve Lee will get sticks up, and they're both going to go. As Simmons came through the middle there, he took 2 or 3 hits. And it was the last one from Stephen Lee that he took exception to, as things down on the floor starting to heat up a little bit. We get more offsetting penalties. Minute 18 left in the initial offset. So the ever popular, never practiced 3-on-3 power play, or even strength set, pardon me. It'll go Knox, Lanchbury, and Smith will the Chiefs. And a moving screen, Latrell Harris heading down the floor, as was Alec Tamas. They both turn hard left. And Alec Pace will give way to Jake McNabb. 9 minutes remaining in the period. This is put into the corner. 2-goal lead here for the Chiefs. They got things started in the period. We've had one per side. As McNabb over top of the pile. Callum Jones quickly back up to center as he was pushed into the crease. 2 on nobody. Saunders will score. Lead back up to 3. That's as much as it's been all night long for Burlington. And will still be 3-on-3 for 34 seconds. As Saunders, Kashalk, and Jones should get assists. As they do, Kaminga controlling the face-off. And it'll be Friesen, Gavin McGregor, and I believe Keelan Pilon on the far side. Pilon over the shoulder. Got a 3-quarter release there that went wide. Pilon redirected into the boards. Kashalk runs over his man who didn't pick up the ball cleanly. Whistle blows in. Wittig and Wright step out of the box. 4-on-4 now for the next 38 seconds. That's when Lee and Simmons will come back out. Meanwhile, Carter Zavitz accepting a pass here. 10 on the St. Catharines shot clock. Jake McNabb. Nice recognition there by Aki to step up. McNabb in front. Zavitz on a bounce. I think everyone thought that might have gone to the crease man. Shot clock sounds as Carter Zavitz will pull St. Catharines back within 2 now. Make it 6-4 with 7:30 left to go. 12 seconds left, 4-on-4. And these two teams starting to find their offensive chops a little bit. Goal aside now, here with extra space on the floor. Kaminga and Aki. And it's going to be Aki pulling it out, but Pace recovering. And St. Catharines will get possession as Latrell Harris sends it into the offensive zone. We are 5-on-5 now. Second straight game here on JVI Sports Network where we've gone 3-on-3. As yesterday out in Cobourg, Peterborough Lakers, Cobourg Kodiaks, a penalty-filled third period. Game that you can catch live on our channel. Subscribe to make sure you don't miss any of the action this summer. Curry over the top. Curry takes a shot just wide of Halachuk. Bushi got picked out of the way. He wanted a call. The bench did as well. One doesn't come as Wittig jogs down the far side. Pardon me, this is Wittig. Jeff Wittig, that is. Couple picks in front of him by Pilon. Zavitz in the corner, faking the pass. There was nobody on that side, though. So Briley Miller just stood his ground and made sure the save was made. Rebound bounces all the way down the floor. Halachuk out to leave it for Zavitz. 6-4 in favor of the Chiefs. They lead the period. Period tied 2-all. As we came into it 4-2. 4 straight in that first for Burlington. Off the bench, Jason Knox, and Halachuk making another save as he slid to his right-hand side. The ball nearly bounced through his legs, but Latrell Harris there to make sure that didn't happen. Offensive change completing here for St. Catharines. Zavitz. Pilon. Big time traffic there, and what happened to Briley Miller? Looked like he was all set and ready to go full bore to his right and then stopped. And that left the side of the net wide open. And ever since that 4-goal run in the first, the Athletics now close within 1 goal. It's 6-5. Briley Miller coming to the bench. He'll take a water break. This is a very big key moment in this game. Respect from the goalie union as Halachuk and Miller pass each other. Here are the teams with 7 wins on the year. Burlington, the Brampton Excelsior is 7-3. Toronto Beach is 7-4. Orangeville Northman 7-4. St. Catharines 6-3. 2 points behind that logjam in first place. And then 6th, 7th, and 8th seeds all tied with 10 points. 5-4 Mimico, 5-5 Six Nations Arrows, and Whitby Warriors 5-6. You just don't see those two teams in that part of the standings very often. This has been an unreal Junior A season as we hit the halfway mark for the majority of these teams. Moving screen on the far side. Harris will quickly throw it up the floor where Riley St. Ange runs into it. St. Ange being chased now by the double team of LaPrade and Devin Maya. He sends it back over his head. I believe that was Kilgore. Briefly tipped. Latrell Harris couldn't pick up. And it goes to the far side. Finish your look at the standings. KW currently out of the playoffs, playing their 11th game this past weekend. 8 points out of 4-7. They're 2 out right now, but only 6 points off the lead as Knox plays a rebound off the end boards. His low shot. Return does find Halachuk. Barrie and Peterborough, they've got some work to do here in the second half. I'm afraid just 2 wins for Barrie, 1 for Peterborough on the year as we're here in Burlington tonight. 4 minutes remaining in the third period. On the crease, spin and quick fire. Not sure that shot ever got through. This one does. As another one, Halachuk wasn't sure where it went. Last number of shots, very good at stepping up and meeting it, and then throwing that left hand in between the legs to make sure nothing squeaked out the backside. Briley Miller will make this save as well. Off his leg. Hits the glass and bounces over center. Working out of the corner with it, Simmons. McNabb. Far side now, lefty. Back for Simmons. Simmons, one extra hop to his left to get that shot. Rebound skips away from McNabb. And here comes Knox off the bench. Devin Maya on his wrong side looking for the pass. No good options, so heads to the bench. Damon Curry, now Smith, now Lanchbury. Ryan Lanchbury from the corner up top for Knox. Now Curry gets it back. Barrett, a pick in front of him. Lanchbury. And the shot clock will sound as Alec Tamas got in the face of Lanchbury and then goes after Boucher afterwards. I think he's still actually is Lanchbury. Devin Maya standing over the ball. And shoving in the corner between Carter Zavitz and Matt Anderson will take those two off the floor. Thought maybe we might get a delay of game call against Devin Maya as he stood over the ball. It kept slowly bouncing, and he just kept following it, so the St. Catharines player couldn't pick up. That's what Steve Toll was asking for on his bench. It looked like was the delay of game penalty, but we'll go back to 4-on-4. Two minutes, 39 seconds left in the period. Burlington restarts with one too many. So we'll do it again with McNabb. Near side, Simmons. McNabb setting the pick for Simmons here. Clearing Callum Jones out of the way. Wittig. Stephen Lee on his side. Pilon now sets the pick. And Devin Maya is going to get a penalty, as is Callum Jones. Jones, after the fact, threw his man to the ground. Jones is going. McNabb just now getting up as he took either a chop or a butt end in a spot slightly lower than the midsection. And as we said before, Steve Toll likes to use timeouts when he can find a spot where he thinks he's in a good strategic position to do so. With 2:15 left, this is not Lacrosse 101, but he gets the chalkboard out and they'll set up this 4-on-3 power play set. Roughing to Maya, Jones for high sticking. Two very important pieces of a penalty killing defense for this Burlington Chiefs team. And they both end up in the penalty box. Halachuk changing direction so he can come over for the fist bump for Briley Miller, who was getting final instructions from head coach Dan McRae. He of the, I believe it's still Calgary Roughnecks. We'd be remiss if we didn't congratulate the Saskatchewan Rush once again on their weekend NLL victory. Another Champions Cup, 3 in 4 years for the Saskatchewan Rush. And 6 first-round picks in the next 2 drafts. If I'm not mistaken, that's disgusting numbers. But minute and a half here of 4-on-3. Then we'll go 5-on-3 in favor of St. Catharines. Simmons. Far side, Wittig. Simmons lets one rip. Briley Miller, the shoulder save. And more action in front of Briley Miller with Stephen Lee as a bouncer down the floor. Halachuk to corral it. And now Saunders has to sprint his way back. How is that not in the crease from Pilon? Back for McNabb, he releases, and Miller will hang on for the whistle. And it is a mass exodus to the Burlington bench with 90 seconds remaining in the period. If they can escape this one still with the lead, it will be nothing short of miraculous. Knox. They'll go Knox, Lanchbury, and it looks like Damon Curry, yes it is, facing for St. Catharines Athletics. 30 seconds remaining in the initial offsetting penalties. Trying to find Curry off the bench. Saunders gets tied up with Blair Ferguson and Tom Whitty right in front of St. Catharines' door. And we're down to 50 seconds here. Far side, Wittig, Simmons in the corner, McNabb. Simmons back with it, takes the shot. McNabb nearly got the rebound. Stephen Lee will whack it ahead though for Kashalk. Kashalk one-on-one, takes a chop out of the box. Here comes Wright, shoots and scores. And they want a no-goal signal. I think St. Catharines is saying too many men as he came out of the box. And that's the correct call, as they're still, should be down to 3. So Blair Ferguson is going to go discuss. This will be interesting now because it's Matt Anderson, I think, that left. Either him or Matt Wright. If he leaves on his own, that may be another penalty here for too many men. But if the bench released him because time expired, the St. Catharines player is good to go, regardless of what happens here. This will be an interesting conversation. And if you've got children near the St. Catharines bench, I suggest that you guys go take an early intermission, because this Steve Toll probably won't like whatever this explanation is. If it takes the tying goal. Pardon me, that would be Burlington's goal, 7-5, and it does take the goal off the board, I believe. Nobody's gone over to the penalty box, so I think we're just going to leave it status quo now, as Dan McRae will get the explanation. How this is supposed to work, the bench penalty box player is supposed to hold, because you can't go less than 3 on the floor. And then the penalty that was stacked would start counting down. But what looked to me that happened was Matt Wright and whoever he was paired off with in the box both took off running. And because Wright came out of the box, he was the guy that took the shot and scored. So that goal comes off the board. We got 33.9 remaining here in the period. We'll start with Harris up top. No timeout in the period for St. Catharines, as they've already used it. Interception, though, here for Saunders. McRae already signaling timeout. And Saunders turns and makes sure that Roger Nurse sees it with 20.6 left and 23 on the shot clock. So final possession coming here for Burlington now. After what was an exciting and interesting second period. All the way down. Howlachuk, a big penalty kill stand. There he is getting, well, finishing that water bottle, it looks like. A massive penalty kill stand midway through the period when St. Catharines had a couple guys in the box. About a minute and a half power play time for Burlington. As now we look at Briley Miller, another big story in this Burlington season. Again, coming over in the offseason via trade from the Six Nations Arrows. And a trade that on draft day kind of went a bit unnoticed. There was a lot of movement, a lot of minor deals, and Briley Miller just kind of snuck in there. As Jesse Legault graduated last year, him and Hebert, the past 2 seasons or so for Burlington, have split time almost equally. Jesse Legault now with the Oakville Titans just down the street. And it'll be restarted here from the corner by Smith. Ball pops out of his stick, though. Here's Harris. One jumps out of the penalty box legally this time. It's Maya. Back for Simmons off the bench. 7 seconds to work with. Simmons being pushed backwards. Knew the crease was coming from Knox and jumped out of the way. Gets up in disgust rather slowly, but slams his stick into the end boards, as that doesn't result in any form of opportunity for the St. Catharines Athletics. They clawed all the way back to within 1 goal, though, in that second period. What a period it was. Back and forth. We had some penalty action, and we're setting up for an incredible third period. First place on the line. We seem to say that every week when we come to Burlington, but we'll sort it out in about 9.5 minutes. Hope you'll come back and join us. Well, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Period number 3 coming up on the JVI Sports Network. What a game it's been so far. As the Burlington Chiefs lead 6-5. Athletics win the period 3-2, however. As a lot of shoving in front of the Burlington bench looking for this face-off. And Devin Maya was the most aggressive, and that will give it to St. Catharines, who are still on the power play for another minute. They had extended. There was a 4-on-3 that turned into a 5-on-3. Burlington had thought they had scored, but a man out of the box early. As the time ticks down, 7 on the shot clock as Miller makes the save. Simmons and Maya fighting over the loose ball on the far side as Maya will get there. Cashel takes over as Maya heads off. Curry. Now Bushi, Lanchbury. Those are the 4 as they're still 1 in the box. Callum Jones. Cashal's shot wide, bounces out to the hockey blue line where Latrell Harris recovers. Carter Zavitz, far side. Callum Jones is back out there, and we're going to try and go 5-on-5 here for a little bit. Erskine to Pilon. Zavitz sets a pick for Simmons. Rolls to the net, does Zavitz. Takes the shot into the feet of Briley Miller. And Miller there to make the save. Far side, slow down here for Cashel. And it's been a long time since a full offensive set has been out for Burlington. Smith to Lemieux, to Lanchbury, hits off the crossbar. And Lanchbury looking to go straight through Logan Monroe. He thought he was hung on to there on the play on the crease and looking for a little revenge. It popped the ball free, but the Athletics do corral it. Erskine takes a late chop from Knox. Another tie up in front. Erskine finds a corner, heads to the net, and Briley Miller another save. As Simmons got a step on Dylan LaPrade. LaPrade couldn't come up with it cleanly. Miller another save, and Callum Jones this time will get the ball back for his Burlington teammates. Both periods we went nearly an entire 10 minutes without a goal, about 9 and change in both the first and the second. As Harris cuts the corner, gets around Jones. The 2 captains meet one more time. And that shot off the side of the net resets the clock as Zavitz now brings it back in. Zavitz, Simmons. Pass picked off as they were looking to come back for Pilon. Jones quickly over for Saunders, who jogs in. It's Phil Mazuka who forces Halachuk into a third period save. And now Erskine hopping over the blue line. McNabb. Simmons. Simmons with Mazuka on him. Simmons will wind and fire. It's off the end boards. Played by Erskine. 5 on the shot clock. Erskine, stutter step, can get around right, slides through the crease. As the ball lands at the feet, Wright had it chopped out of his stick. Recovered, though, by his defensive partner. And now Burlington regroups. Boucher, Smith. Boucher takes 2 defenders with him, and then Smith shoots wide. Bounces out straight for Bradley Fennell. And Fennell will slow things down. Looked like a 2-on-1 coming there for St. Catharines. But Fennell's partner elected to go for a change, as did 3 of Burlington's defenders. Here's Wittig. Jeff Wittig, held at bay by Dylan LaPrade. Bounces back for Wittig again. Lee was trying to send it down the floor. Pilon run into at the end of the shot clock. Callum Jones disagreeing with Blair Ferguson about something. As meanwhile it comes back for Barrett, bouncing over his stick. And it will be St. Catharines' possession as Kyler Kilgore brings it up for center. Saunders on him, looking for an outlet. Likes to go backwards to Tom Whitty. If you're new to Junior A or still in winter mode, only an over and back when you're killing a penalty here. And a couple of slashes, one too many. Or one too high, I guess, in the view of Blair Ferguson, as Owen Friesen goes off. So the Burlington Chiefs able to weather a penalty storm at the end of that second period into the third. And now they're rewarded with a power play of their own. See if they can capitalize as Smith, Lanchbury, and Boucher. The big 3 take up the right side. Curry and Smith playing catch right now. Looks like they've got Lemieux down on the crease on the far side. Lanchbury, he's the only guy that doesn't touch it, is Lemieux, as Lanchbury just shoots from up top. And that will make it 7-5. Boucher's first of the game on the power play now. And if you remember back to last week's game when we were here, when Burlington faced Whitby, right at the end of the game, the door was slammed shut as the ball was arriving, and Boucher got his hand caught in the door, went off in considerable pain as the ball won't break free of the face-off twig for Jordan Ackey here. So it'll be St. Catharines' possession. So good to see Boucher out there, as he looked in pretty bad shape at the end of that game last week against Whitby. Another one that you can see on our JVI channel. Who did that hit before going way high off the stick of Pilon? It was a Burlington player, must have been, as the ball remains St. Catharines' possession. On the crease, Pilon and Anderson. Someone's lost their stick now in that exchange. It's actually Callum Jones, as him and Wittig renew their acquaintances. Zavitz around Saunders. Pass goes errant. Intended for Simmons, who gets it back, takes a shot, and Miller the save. And now Maya gets as far as center. Chiefs offense changing behind him, so he'll pass it off. As Boucher in the corner to Lanchbury, pardon me. Lanchbury, quick shot. Recovery made by Halachuk. It never got through. As kids, that's why you keep your stick up. Alex Simmons just saved a goal by being in great position. That hits off the tip of the head of his stick. Lanchbury back with it, though. Shot through a crowd and through Halachuk as well. Make it 8-5 in favor of Burlington. Lanchbury has just a dynamic shot from up top. Has showcased it a couple times here tonight. That's his second goal of the game. Another one of these players that heads south for the winter, plays NCAA. offhand, I forget exactly which school he's at, but Aki will get hauled down there as he won the faceoff clean to himself, and the draw team bit late getting off. A tug of the stick there on Colin Hunt. Hunt staring down a couple players. Harris and Hunt having words now. Hunt is going to stay on. But Jordan Aki, most recent draw, got caught. Before this one, got caught in his stick, and then this one, his teammates desert him on a 1-on-4. Lee takes a late hack from Brett Erskine. And now Lee facing a double team as McNabb. Couple whacks on Lee. Coming into last season, there was only about 2 of these Burlington Chiefs players. As Lanchbury cuts the corner, takes a shot. Holichuk down, thought he had the rebound, and we get a crease violation. Knox took a shove, and he goes racing after his counterpart, McNabb. Blair Ferguson wants to reset back down in his zone. Only a handful of players last year for Burlington not on NCAA rosters. This year, I believe it was basically everybody, if I'm not mistaken, but Lanchbury definitely one of them. Showcasing that hard shot from up top. Twice tonight with 2 goals, including the most recent. Still back to 3 is the lead for the Chiefs. Have never been able to get it higher than that, as the Athletics have clawed back each and every time. Pilon with it. And as much as the lead has never been more than 3, St. Catharines has never had a lead of their own. And Carter Zavitz with a high stick. Him and Callum Jones down low had a very intense battle going on. And this is usually the spot where we get our first goal of the period. We have already had one, but now with Burlington going to the power play, they look for their first 4-goal lead of tonight's contest. And the way that Miller and Halichuk are playing, you almost get the sense that one more may go a long way in deciding tonight's game. Long way from being over yet. 11 minutes still to play. As a low shot there from Curry. Bounces off a couple boards all the way back up top. They do call reset though, as Smith goes for Lanchbury. Smith and Lanchbury playing catch. Over for Curry. Pick came from Bushi. Another save from Halichuk. Smith called in the crease, as now he gets bumped off this ball. Took 40 seconds off the penalty. The Athletics will try and take at least 30 this time now, as Whitty carries it over center. Erskine stumbles in front. Erskine now going to pick LaPrade out of the way. And Whitty cut back the wrong way, facing a white wall of players. Long shot from the far side. Gets into Briley Miller. And that did take exactly 30 seconds off the power play time. As Burlington brings it over center, they'll have 40 left. 15 on their shot clock now as Lanchbury, Barrett, Lemieux in the corner. Bushi circling the net. Lanchbury rips, and that's off the back of the helmet of McNabb, I think. If he's the top man, Briley Miller, 3 on the clock. They got to let this one rip. He does that, and it goes up out of play. Not sure he realized the shot clock was that low with a man right in front of him. There was some miscommunication, and then finally did bomb it down the floor. 10 left in the Athletics penalty. 17 on their shot clock, so they can take this all the way down. Wittig bumped by Mazuka. Pilon, Wittig. We're back to 5-on-5 now as Wittig goes over the top. McNabb, a low shot. That hits Miller, and the reset earned by Zavitz. Simmons sets a pick for Zavitz. And another penalty here. It's going to be, I believe, Mazuka who gave Pilon a shot, and it'll be a high stick against Phil Mazuka as Briley Miller makes the save. And now the Athletics with a chance of a power play of their own. 9 minutes left to play. St. Catharines trailing by 1 here in the period, or in the game. Trailing by 3 in the game, pardon me. Miller asked for a water break here. That's what we're waiting for before this St. Catharines power play gets going. Wittig and Erskine will be the righties. Up top, lefty is Simmons. They've got Zavitz on the crease. And I can't see the number, but I'm pretty sure it's McNabb, the lefty shooter. Righty shooter, pardon me. Shot comes from Wittig, though, on the left side as Miller makes the save. Rebound straight back to Maya. He swims through a double team. And Maya will flip off to Curry here. Curry for Bushi. As the Chiefs penalty killers look to take 30 seconds or more off of the penalty to Mazuka. Bushi gets rid of it before he goes over and back. And no suitable options on the far side, so it's just lifted into the corner as the shot clock sounds, and that'll tick the penalty down to minute 6. McNabb fakes like he's got it, but it's still up top in the stick of Simmons. Bench all over that, so Simmons goes to Wittig. McNabb, Wittig, looks to Erskine, elects to keep. Now goes to Zavitz, who's walked off the crease. Takes the shot, Miller the save, ball out of play. As Simmons will get it back with a fresh 30. 46 seconds left in the penalty now. Erskine, Wittig, around the back of McNabb. McNabb back to Wittig, and the double team on Wittig. And Erskine into the crease, trying to handle that loose ball. And whoa, dangerous pass there right to Cashel as he does get it up for LaPrade. Shot clock is stuck here. The lead shot clock stuck. The trail's the one they're going to go with. 20 seconds on it. Down to 15 now. Penalty time at 16. So pretty much all the way if they want to take this down for the Burlington Chiefs. 7 on the game clock. The count is on the floor as Lanchbury got tripped up. There is the shot clock violation. And Lanchbury, a shove. And that's going to be enough to earn him 2 minutes as Alex Tamas was in there. And if Burlington wants to extend this lead, Lanchbury's been one of their most powerful offensive weapons tonight and for the last couple of seasons. He turned and said something to Roger Nurse on the way by, and that's going to basically be the end of the night for Lanchbury unless we get to overtime. So that big, powerful, right-handed offensive set that consists of Bushi, Smith, and Lanchbury down a man here. And it's another 2 minutes on the board for St. Catharines. Yeah, I think something's up with this shot clock on our left-hand side because it's read 13 seconds for quite some time. Now it resets to 30. And I think we're ready to go with 6:54 remaining in regulation time. Wittig up top, Simmons. Bypassing McNabb to Zavitz. Wittig back. Simmons again. Erskine on the near crease. Only man yet to touch it. He walks out now, and all 5 have done. Quick stick to the far side. Zavitz couldn't hang on. Miller. They reset the shot clock, so he did make a save as it's back for Simmons. Long way from home, though, on his wrong side as McNabb takes a shot. Save made by Miller. Rebound for the Chiefs. And a flip pass intended for Saunders. Goes the length of the floor. Halachuk out of his net for it. Wittig. McNabb taking top spot now. Simmons and Zavitz back on the crease. McNabb. Wittig wants top spot. He'll leave for Simmons. Down on the crease, sneaking back door was Zavitz, and they couldn't get it to each other. 5 on the clock. Back to the shooter spot. McNabb will score the power play goal to make it 8-6. That also completes his hat trick on the night. The first power play marker of the game. For the St. Catharines A's extra man unit. And like we said, Lanchbury, even though we're 5-on-5, remains in the box. His 10 will start now. So unavailable until 4 minutes in overtime, assuming we get that far. Jordan Ackey's unlucky night at the dot continues as he won that clean, but it went straight up and hit a light standard. So St. Catharines ball here. 5.5 left to go. They trail by 2. On the crease, Pilon wears the ball. It sneaks out the back door, going through the crease. Briley Miller wasn't sure after he made the save, and a massive scrum ensues. 5 players, 3 for the Chiefs, though, for this rebound, and the Chiefs are going to come away with it as Matt Wright goes flying down the far side. He'll slow up as Curry gets back for Knox. Anderson looks like he's going to slot into the Lanchbury spot, and his job is going to be to set picks, which he does to the crease man. Smith here. Anderson faked the shot as Smith had it. He walks into the middle of the house and had 3 guys on him before taking a wide shot. Rebound controlled by the Athletics. Simmons. Callum Jones spying him. Erskine into the corner. Pilon. He goes around a pick from Friesen. Far side swim move, Simmons. Here's Friesen. Pilon finds a man on the crease who got filled in after taking a check, and now big time sticks up. And the whistle goes away from Fergie this time as Friesen and Steve Lee got hands up on each other on the crease. 4:17 will be on the clock here. Again, Burlington never able to get the lead past 3 goals. And it's back down to 2 again, and another good save going down low for Halachuk. As St. Catharines has always been able to chip their way back. Never been able to even tie it since that 4-goal run in the first period, though. Down by 2 here, less than 4 remaining. Wittig. Lee will shove him aside. Now Saunders takes over. Wittig picks Saunders out of the way as McNabb goes to the crease, trying to find Erskine back in front. Zavitz chases down the loose ball. Takes the shot, and the save made by Briley Miller. That'll reset as Harris down the floor. Harris to Simmons. Now Erskine up top. McNabb dicing his way. Simmons the shot. Low on Miller, makes the save. Harris to corral it back at the blue line. Trell Harris heading off now. Erskine, McNabb. Pilon coming back on, taking the spot of Harris. Erskine was looking for Simmons, and Erskine felled after the fact that the shot was intercepted. And now it'll be Smith with 3 minutes, bringing it up to center. Both teams have a timeout in the bank to use here in the dying minutes of our third period. Lemieux into the corner. Barrett. Knox is over there as well. And Knox turns and fires. It hits the backboards. Doesn't hit the ceiling as Barrett will turn and launch it into empty floor with the shot clock about to expire. 2.5 left now. Chiefs clinging to a 2-goal lead. Looking to break a 4-way tie atop the Junior A standings. St. Catharines Athletics trying to make it a 5-way tie. They go to Wittig. Lee stands his ground. Wittig's pass intercepted. Here's Saunders. Up over center, Kashok accepts a flip pass now. 2-minute warning inside Central Arena in Burlington on the JVI Sports Network. Please subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications and follow us on Twitter at JVI Video for our entire summer schedule. Out of the corner, Knox looking quick stick for Smith. And that one finds the floor. Where it's picked up here by St. Catharines, minute 36 left. And timeout, St. Catharines, as they were about to head up the far side. I imagine it'll be six-man set as Halachuk comes to the bench. And big possession coming up now, 8-6. Recent games on the YouTube channel include yesterday from Cobourg, the Peterborough Lakers and Cobourg Nissan Kodiaks from the Cobourg Community Center. Our next live game is next Sunday, June the 17th, as we record this game. Back in Cobourg as they play host to, I believe it's the Brooklyn Redmen, if I'm not mistaken. That's a start time of 6 p.m. on Sunday. Wittig will start all the way down the floor. They have Simmons far side. 4 lefties in this set. 4 righties, pardon me, on the left wing side. As Erskine. Wittig's in the middle. Here's Erskine taking the shot. And one of those lefties had scampered to the bench to get Halachuk back on the floor. Maya, far side. Flip pass for Knox. Bench screaming at Ferguson as Maya was chopped. Knox with it. Sees part for Smith, whose shot goes wide. Less than a minute to play here in the final frame. Go time for the Athletics. McNabb. 6 comes streaming off the bench. Zavitz, Wittig, Pilon to the middle. Erskine has the ball. Back up top, McNabb, a quick shot. Bounces off the end boards. This is going to go down the floor, bouncing towards the net. Will just miss. 6 on the Burlington shot clock as Erskine turns and fires. It ends up in the corner before bouncing up out of play. And Athletics ball. It is Athletics ball. As Wittig with it now, 20 seconds left. Far side, McNabb works his way to the net, takes the shot. Oh, bounces out in front, and Stephen Lee gets a stick on it and will just shovel it away from any harm. And time will tick down. Halachuk will send it towards the offensive zone, but that'll do it as the Burlington Chiefs stand alone once again atop the Junior A standings. It is a big week for them as they get 2 home games, including another one coming up here against the Mimico Mountaineers on Wednesday. That'll be June the 13th at 8 p.m. if you're anywhere near Burlington. This team is rolling right now, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of our producer, Gary Morrison, our director, Ryan Harkness, I'm Matthew Carrick. Thank you on behalf of our JVI Sports Network crew. We remind you to subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitter at JVI Video. And yes,